to call this meeting of the West Dallas West Milwaukee School District to order, please. If we could please rise for the pledge. Ms. Klug, would you please lead us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. And can we do the roll, please?
Yes. Mr. Sikich.
Present.
Mr. Schultz.
Present.
Mr. Lee.
Here.
Mr. Ustra.
Here.
Mrs. Jessup.
Here.
Ms. Klug.
Here.
Mr. Bailey's excused. Mr. Keller.
Here.
President Emmer.
Here. Proper notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the open meeting laws of the state of Wisconsin. Are there changes and modifications to tonight's agenda?
A couple changes. In the superintendent's report, 7.1, the report from James E. Dotke High School, we will not have that report this evening. And the department showcase on 9th grade through 12th grade science, we will not have that showcase this evening.
All right, any additional changes or modifications from anyone else? All right. Do we have any public comments scheduled for this evening? Nope. All right, we will move on then to the superintendent's report, item number 7.
Great. So I will jump to 7.3, the legislative update. Tony Evers, our new governor, gave his first State of the State address, and some takeaways for educators included a promise to provide 2/3 funding for schools across Wisconsin. That was a commitment made many years ago in Wisconsin, and at the time, schools were funded by the state at 2/3 of the cost. So in his budget proposal, he wants to return to that. In addition to the 2/3 funding, he also wants to provide more supports for students with special needs, and the budget proposal would add $600 million in special education funding. And then there's also a commitment to closing achievement gaps for low-income students and students of color by expanding early childhood education and summer school grant programs. So we're looking forward to see what comes out of the budget proposals through the budget process. The district recognition, 7.4. Central and Nathan Hale, on Thursday, January 17th, 2019, 8th grade students were able to spend the afternoon at the high school they will attend this fall. Students met with teachers, went on tours, and talked with coaches and extracurricular club advisors. The event is part of the All Aboard program designed to support a positive transition to high school. Special thanks to Central's innovation coach, Angela Jaloski, and the staff at both Central and Hale for their leadership. This is the second year that we've done this, and this is during exam week, so that high school students, don't have, they have exams in the morning, so high school students can be available to be a part of this and make connections, but we're not disrupting learning in the high schools to have this event. So at Lane Intermediate School, teacher Ms. Lynn Burke received a $1,000 scholarship for her 7th grade field trip to the Illinois Holocaust Museum on January 3rd, 2019. The Illinois Museum and Education Center is committed to supporting students and the remarkable teachers that work with them. Horace Mann Elementary School reading specialist Jessica Dotson won the Aaron's Education Group Holiday Giveaway, receiving 1,000 books for the school. At General Mitchell Elementary, the PTA has been awarded Google's $1,000 PTA Connected Be Internet Awesome grant. The grant is designed to help get more families digitally involved with their PTAs and provides funding for hosting family workshops and digital materials. At Longfellow Elementary School, Ann Gerenser's 4th graders won Achieve 3000's Read to Succeed contest. She was awarded a gift card to use for a class celebration. And at Wilson Elementary School, Vicki Dubnika's class of 4th and 5th graders also won Achieve 3000's Read to Succeed contest, and she was awarded a gift card to use for a class celebration. And at West Milwaukee Intermediate School, 6th grade social studies teacher and science teacher Jane Thune Baylor. Say it again? Belargin. I wouldn't even gotten that close. Thank you. Belargin received a donation of $129.09 to fund her classroom project, Wisconsin Native Plants. The donations were coordinated through Donors Choose. And then from the Communication and Community Relations Department, the West Dallas West Milwaukee School District Education Foundation received $1,000 from PPC Foundation, comprised of Peeper Electronic, Inc., and Ideal Mechanical. And then Irving Elementary School and James Dotke High School have been selected for the 2019 GE Community Service Day on Wednesday, August 21st, 2019. That's a first for us. GE has done this in Milwaukee schools for many, many years, where they come in on a great big volunteer day, and there's lots of advanced planning. They come in and paint and do murals and organize and clean, whatever the school needs. They build projects around it. And so this is the first time they reached out to us. So the woman that leads it this year on the GE side, the whole thing for West Allis, West Milwaukee and Milwaukee, is from West Allis. So she reached out to myself and Beth, and we had a number of schools then submit, like, we'd like to be a part of this, and we thought they'd only pick one, they picked two. And my years in MPS, for a while, I was in charge of working with the high schools that were selected. And when they come into a big high school, there could be 200 volunteers. And it's incredibly well-planned and well-executed. You can imagine a bunch of engineers getting everything in order, and the way the tools have to come, and the way the materials get dropped off. So I'm excited about this for our schools, and we appreciate GE considering us in it. And then 7.5, some updates and information items real quick. The public comment from January 14th, we had a crossing guard here, expressing need for a different kind of signage. So I reached out to Dan Devine, who also brought the chief of police into the conversation. And so the police have done some additional monitoring, and it's not, their assessment is that intersection is not better or worse than any other, where there's a larger school and lots of kids walking. But we'll continue to monitor and issue citations as appropriate. But the bottom line is, the crossing guards are not employees of the district, nor are they employees of the city. They're a contracted service. So the employer is responsible for providing, what an employee needs for them to do their jobs effectively. So it really is something that, if additional signage is necessary, that really is on the employer. But at least I did reach out and follow up. We had a...
Mark, I have a question regarding that. Can I ask it now, or should I wait?
No, ask it now.
Are they reaching out to the community, people in the neighborhood regarding that intersection, do you know?
I don't know that. There was no mention of that in the conversation or the email with the mayor or the chief. So not that I'm aware of. No. A couple other things. We had a pretty powerful professional development day last week. Stephanie joined us for the State of the Schools presentation, where we really kind of pushed in I think a very dynamic and hard push into the equity conversations. It's really our next big lever of improvement. It really is about closing gaps, and if we're going to continue to grow the way we have in the last couple of years, I think that's the next big opportunity. Those conversations can at times be uncomfortable, and Stephanie's noting that there are parts of my presentation where you could feel kind of people bristling a little bit or getting uncomfortable, and that's all right. If we're going to move forward, there are times when we have to insert additional pressure into the organization. It comes with a great deal of support. So the example this year, we had the showcase on coaching. And so it's really Deidre's work, but very intentionally is work to make sure that our coaches that used to be deans aren't becoming mini administrators, which is what we saw happening, right? And so we're really trying to make sure that they're actually in classrooms supporting teachers when we start to raise the expectations about all kids. But I think it was a good day overall with a strong message. And then the very next day, in the snowstorm, Stephanie and I were downtown first thing in the morning on a panel with Chippewa Falls School District and Racine School District about the work we're doing and continuous improvement, and with Studer. It was fascinating. I guessed at 8 a.m. on a Wednesday in a snowstorm that we'd have 9.5 people in the audience, and we probably had 80.
Yeah, a lot.
And it was cool. So it felt good to talk about our work to me, and also listening to two other school districts. I went, ooh, I got to try that. So it was also interesting learning for me. So some interesting things that we've done in the last week or so, and we continue to monitor the weather this week and keep making announcements as appropriate to see what comes next. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
All right. We'll move on to item 8, the board president's report, review of the board calendar. So tonight is Monday, January 28th. Thank you all, everyone, for being here this evening. I know it wasn't the easiest to commute today, so I appreciate your time and commitment to that. Tonight is our regular Board of Education meeting, and immediately following, we have a financial stability and efficiency workshop on our 2017-2018 audit report. Monday, February 11th, beginning at 6 p.m. is a regular Board of Education meeting. And following that is a recreation and community services workshop, which is a review of the construction plans for the new recreation center. On Monday, February 18th at 6 o'clock, we will have a college and career readiness workshop on guaranteed and viable curriculum. Heather will actually be leading that workshop because I will be out of town. And on Monday, February 25th, beginning at 6 p.m., is a regular Board of Education meeting, and then a workshop on financial stability and efficiency on health benefits. Does anybody else have any additional events for board update? Jeff?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Chris Morrissey's class at Frank Lloyd Wright. I was invited there Friday, as were some of the board members also attended, and Dr. Lexman was there. It was just super. I was so impressed. The kids are actually doing projects that aren't just going to be graded and then thrown in a file cabinet or filed at home. It's actually something that's going to happen, and they were all real excited about it. And the cool thing about it is she is teamed up with a former West Allis student from Central, Amy Gerke. They played, her and Chris played basketball together, and Amy Gerke started a school for kids that are on the autism spectrum, and Chris wanted to find a way to help them, and her whole class is doing this project on designing the school for them. It was really cool. And then at the state, pardon me, the state WASB convention, on Tuesday, I spent an afternoon, 3.5 hours in a school finance workshop that was really good. They broke it down into 4 areas: the revenue limit, equalization aid, revenue limit to the tax levy, and then the tax levy to your property tax bill. And it was really interesting. We weren't the only district that had caught some people were caught off guard when they got their tax bills. And he kind of went into more of how that happened. There's a fellow from Wanakee, because Wanakee has Wanakee, the town of Madison, the town of like Dell or something real small, but a lot of them were I think it was Middleton, because they're expanding and their tax base is going up, their taxes went up like significantly. And I mentioned to him after the workshop, I said, well, we kind of had that problem by us too. And I'm going to try and contact him and see how they're going to handle it for the next time around. And then Thursday night, there was a real nice, Belo Vetter, our law firm, put on a really nice law symposium, and it was the top 10 what school officials need to know right now, the top 10 kind of like hot button issues. That was pretty interesting, and both of them were very, very user-friendly. There wasn't too much legalese at the one, and the other was, I mean, if I can understand it.
Jeff, did you get any takeaways from that, any handouts or anything?
Yeah, oh yeah.
If we could get those to Suzette, so we can maybe get those to Board Book?
Sure.
So we can all get, that'd be awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. Anything else?
That's
Guys are good?
it.
Thank you. Noah, did you have something too?
I was just gonna mention, I also was able to go to Chris Morrissey's thing at FW in the morning, and so it was really great. In Colorado, they're building that school, and all the kids had a lot of different interesting things. You could tell that they did their research, and I asked them some difficult questions about some things to see how much they knew about the school or how much space they had and things like that when they wanted to put like horses and stuff in there. So it's like, what's involved with the horse? How do you feed the horse? Where's the horse gonna stay? And they really thought through a lot of different things, so I was really impressed by that. So I did want to thank Ms. Morrissey for her invitation and job well done with her class.
Excellent. Heather?
I was able to go over to Central for the freshman, incoming freshman thing, and that was a lot of fun to watch those kids. And I have got to drive the bus, and I'm so nervous. It's going to be so big. It's so huge. It's like, and then they're like, this isn't that much bigger than West Milwaukee. It's a big circle. And I'm like, yeah, it is. So to watch them decompress and go, okay, I think I can handle this. And they just had a really good time, and they talked and laughed, and, you know, the upperclassmen were very helpful with them. So it was good to watch them interact and see what high school's going to be like.
Great. Anybody else? All right, thank you. Well, we'll go on to the consent agenda. Item 9.1, the approval of the minutes from the January 14th, 2019 regular Board of Education meeting and the January 21st, 2019 workshop meeting. Item 9.2, the employment summary. Item 9.2, the supplementary contracts, and item 9.4, the financial summary. Does anybody need anything separated? If not, we look for a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, it's been moved, improved, and seconded. Any additional comments or questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. We will go on to our action items for this evening. Item 10.1, the co-op renewal for swim and dive. Dr. Lexman.
So, like other co-op renewals, this is on an annual or semi-annual basis. We want to continue to offer the swim dive co-op between Hale and Central, so it requires board action.
Move to approve.
Second.
Do we have any questions? Jeff, did
I'm
you?
sorry.
I'm gonna be recusing myself.
Okay,
Same here.
all right, so we've got 2 recusals.
We still have 5.
So we've got 6, okay.
Leave it up.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
I gotta
okay.
think, yeah. All right, so we've got 2 recusals. Any comments or questions before we move on? All right, so, no, could you do your motion again?
Oh, I'm sorry, move to approve?
Second.
Okay, moved and approved and seconded. Any additional comments or questions? All right, all those who are going to vote, please, in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay. Okay, that goes on, passes. And then item 10.2, to approve the number of open enrollment seats available for the 2019-2020 school year.
So we recently did a workshop with the board on open enrollment and how we project seats and set the numbers. The board is required to approve seats at a January meeting. And so one of the interesting conversations today in the, I don't know, 3 different conference calls I was on related to weather, was every district that has Monday board meetings kept their board meeting tonight because everybody's approving open enrollment seats.
That's why we're here, sorry.
Right. It's because if we didn't approve them, we would likely lose every appeal. It's kind of wide open, and the door is if families would appeal decisions. So I'll turn this over to Jeff to walk us through where the final numbers landed, and then we'll ask for your consideration.
Yeah, I think you have the approval sheet, or the sheet that was in the board packet, and the numbers were up just a little bit from the over the weeks before workshop. The reason for that was on the 11th, we had the second Friday in January count, so there was some cleanup in the enrollment that took place there, so that lowered our current enrollment number just a little bit. And then we had some tuition waivers that occurred since the last time that I had run the numbers, that additional tuition waivers, that is, families moved out of West Dallas and would like to keep their kids in West Dallas, so that left us a little room as well. So the numbers are up just a little bit from there, but I would certainly say in the same ballpark. I guess what questions might you have, or?
Comments? Feedback? If not, we'd be looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any additional comments or questions? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. All right, so before we take a quick break to get into workshop, just so we can work on the cameras, I just want to make a quick little update. You'll notice that normally item number 11 is board feedback or board suggestions for future workshop or agenda items. We're going to take that off the agenda because that really needs to go to committee, because that's really where the work is done and where those topics are being discussed. So going forward, if you have a suggestion for a topic or something that you'd like the board to eventually consider, please direct that comment directly to the committee chair. So going forward, the committee agendas will have the names of each board member, each committee member on the agenda, so it'll be easier to find that information. It's also on our website, on the board page. It also does list every committee that everybody's on. If you're unsure as to which committee you should direct a comment or suggestion, just email me directly, and I'll either get it to that person or point you in the right direction. So that'll be going forward, so you won't see that agenda item going forward. Okay? All right, so we... All right, so we'll take a quick 5-minute recess while we just take down the cameras.